I'm new here, but I'm confused. Are you against adoption? Or your adoptive family? Hey, what's up everyone? Cam here from Therapy Redeemed. Welcome to episode 7 of Office Hour with Your Therapist. Really excited to answer this very important, very common question that I've received over the years here at Therapy Redeemed, and even maybe more recently. Am I anti-adoption? Am I against adoption? And do I have beef? Do I have a chip on my shoulder about my adoptive parents? Okay, so just a couple ideas that come to mind for this. The first one is thank you for asking. Thank you for trusting me enough to kind of show up on my page, on a post, and just comment and kind of just bring this discussion further into the light. I'm not necessarily against adoption per se, right? I think that if the circumstances have made it so that you're opening your home to a child in need, that's great, okay? Really appreciate that. My page, my content is really aimed at asking, how do we do it better in a way that serves the children who are being adopted? And how can we raise more awareness for adoptive parents before they adopt? And how can we orchestrate post-adoption services in a way that includes adoptee voices, right? Adoption narratives that go beyond, hey, my adoption is positive, everything is great. We want to hear, are there other stories that could potentially inform us to make this whole situation and experience better for adoptees, okay? So that's kind of my first thought. Second thought is you can unfollow adoptees, social media, right? We live in an age where you can just swipe past an adoptee, unfollow, that makes me uncomfortable, their content, I'm gonna unfollow them. But you can't unfollow the adoptee under your care. They're with you, right? They're looking for you to care for them. And on that day, if and when they start to have ideas and questions and thoughts and feelings and just like internal experiences related to adoption, are you able to show up with them and listen to them and really welcome all of that into that relationship between them and you? Okay, so yeah, you can unfollow adoptees on social media, go ahead, but really the aim of my content and just my heart is that you would practice sitting in that discomfort. Why? So that you can show up and sit in that discomfort with your children, okay? Now, in that relationship that you have with your children, they are gonna trust you, they can understand, they have seen it demonstrated, they can feel it that, hey, mom and dad can handle this stuff. I've got some ideas about my story and I wanna be able to sit with them and they can handle it, right? They're not gonna just tell me to go to my room. They're not gonna say, hey, that's unacceptable. They're not gonna invalidate me and just, shut me down. No, they're actually going to give me space, maybe even provide me some kind of a platform and opportunity to share more about this, and together we can kind of co-create some meanings and figure out what it looks like to move forward in a meaningful, satisfying way, okay? Lastly, and maybe this kind of just comes to mind, is yeah, you can unfollow adoptees on social media. What is usually done as well, maybe it wouldn't be as easy to just flippantly disregard adoptees if adoptees were more included in the board of directors, in C-suite positions, in the orchestration and management of post-adoption services in an adoption agency, right? So yeah, go ahead and exclude us out of those things. Go ahead and choose not to consult adoptees when you're creating those services. But again, that leaves a long-lasting ripple effect, community-wide, culture-wide, that it's normal to try to make services for adoptees without including adoptees. And that's what we're kind of pushing back against, okay? Last one, maybe this is the fourth one comes to my mind, is leaning on and perpetuating a false dichotomy of I love my mom and dad and I'm seeking to raise awareness about adoption. As if we can't have both, all right? We can have both. I can raise awareness about adoption, or actually, I can love my mom and dad over here, and because I love adoptees, because I love the community, because I care about people, I can also raise awareness so that adoptees don't get hurt in the future, so that the whole process, the practices, the rules and regulations can be changed and reformed in a way that treats adoptees with dignity and respect rather than commodifying children, right? To fit the needs of just people who want babies. And I'm saying that even that has a little kind of sting to it, I guess. And I don't want to say that flippantly either. Main point is we can have both. We can have positive feelings about our adoptive parents. And I don't have to prove to you that I have positive feelings about my adoptive parents, right? But we can have positive feelings about our adoptive parents, and we can be very passionate, and we can feel called to say, hey, there are some dark things happening in the adoption industry that need to change. How can we work together to make a difference so that many more adoptees would be kept alive, so that many more adoptees would have a voice and be included in this whole conversation? Okay, so those are some ideas that you can take home with you. And again, I just really want to drive it home that the person asking that question, I thank you for trusting me with your question. It's very important. I don't have all the answers. This is just a kind of a slice. This is an entry point into the conversation that you can have with your family and folks in your community, and it's ongoing. You know, answers are going to be added to, answers might shift over time, but in general, these are my kind of initial thoughts to your question, okay? It is my heart to pour into the adoptee community, even just making resources like this that I wish I had when I was younger, even that I wish my parents had when I was younger, right? And I think, you know, for us together right here and right now, this very hour, we are in the business of hope, that we can be walking together to not grow weary, that we can be pursuing something better together. Each one of you all watching this, you have strengths and abilities and skills and life experiences and backgrounds. I truly believe that as we support one another and, you know, learning together, being sharpened like this, we can make meaningful, real, significant, lasting difference in the adoption community so that many would be kept alive. Okay, so just so thankful to be pursuing that together with you all. Thank you so much for stopping by for this video. Feel free to share it, like, comment, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. But really, if you find this conversation helpful, I do challenge you to maybe share it with someone and see if they agree or disagree, and we're having that conversation together, okay? Great, so that is episode 7, Office Hour with Your Therapist. I'm Cam. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week, okay? Bye-bye.